Okay, good morning and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube Iyun Mitzion. Today we're analyzing Orlah Parak B's Mishnah Zion. Mishnah Zion makes a distinction between Mishnah Vav and Mishnah Zion. Mishnah Zion talks about Min B'She'eno Mino. Mishnah Vav talks about Min B'Mino. Min B'Mino basically means you have a mixture. It's all wheat. The bread is all wheat. Some of it is Aser. It's Truma. It's Orlah, Kilaya, Karen. And most of it is not. So normally when you have mino mino, the way of mavatlan is 1 to 100. That's 1 to 100. In the previous Mishnah, we learned that if it's machmitzid, if the sourdough that's wheat causes it to rise, even if you have 1 to 100, it's not batal because it's significant. Without that, you wouldn't have the bread. So therefore, it's significant even if you have 1 to 100. But if you don't have, if it's not machmitzid, it's just mixed in. So then if it has 100 to 1, it's batal. Mishnah Zion says a different case. Min b'she'eno mino. Let's say wheat and barley, or the case the Mishnah says beans and lentils, or something like that. They're mixed together. So there, the halacha is it's irrelevant to 100 or 1 to 200, and it depends on something else. If it's nesinas tam, it provides taste, imparts taste. Like we learned in the previous Mishnah, it's tavlin. It's a spice. It imparts significant taste in the dish. Without it in a dish, like full medamis, popular Egyptian dish, the national dish of Egypt, which is from Egyptian beans, pula mitzri, it's called in the Mishnah. So without those beans, it wouldn't be the dish. It wouldn't be the dish of Egypt. So that makes the dish, even if you have 1 to 200 kilaya karim or orla, or 1 to 100 of shuma, it still wouldn't be bata as long as it imparts a taste. If it doesn't impart a taste, you don't even need 1 to 100. Even less than 1 to 100 by truma, or less than 1 to 200 by kilaya karim or orla, it would still be mutter. Now, why is that? So the simple explanation is because 1 to 100 is learned out of the pasuk as mikdash shel mimenu, which is talking about trumas meiser, which is 1 out of 100 in the crop. 1 out of 100 is trumas meiser. So that gets mixed in, then it's aser. If it's more than that, it's 1 to 99, it's aser. 1 to 100, it's mutter. That's talking about minimum mino. But the minimum she'eno mino goes back to a din of bittul barov, as I explained. It has to be at least bittul barov because. So the reason that min b'she'eno mino is batal barov, use bittul barov, you don't use 1 to 100. It's really from the Torah, but I'm just going to give the reasoning why the Torah says that. When it's called min b'mino, so the only differentiation between part of the dough and the other part of the dough, the aser part of the dough and the mutter part of the dough is a halachic difference. Aser and mutter, it's the exact same thing. Physically, it's exactly the same thing. It's wheat and wheat. Some is orlah, kilaya, karam, or truma, and the other is chulin. So the only difference is the isra. So you have something, you don't really have a distinction between the isra and the heter on a physical perspective. Maybe on a metaphysical level you do, but on a physical you don't. Maybe you have a physical difference between the two. So when you have a physical difference, the Torah says achari rav mahatos, right? The Torah says mikdashom mimenu, right? Which implies that 1 to 100 is batel, less than 1 to 100 is not batel by truma. It also says achari rav mahatos, which is a general rule in the Torah. So achari mahatos is talking about dayanim, right? Every dayan has a different face, right? A different daya. The Gemara Sanhedrin says, "Shem shapar sufin shonim zemizeh kaftaus dayan shonim zemizeh." Just like people's faces, everyone has their own unique face. Everyone has their own opinion and judgment. So there's a physical difference in people. So that's min b'she'eno min. Person b'she'eno min. Every person is different than their friend. So there you have a physical difference, not just a metaphysical difference, you have a physical difference. And a physical difference, so that itself is more significant. I would say a physical difference is a lot more tangible than a metaphysical difference, which a lot of people aren't, now they have the metaverse, if you know what that is. Mark Zuckerberg just came out with Quest Pro going at $1,500. Looks like some goggles or something like that you put on, if you know what this is. And you get transported into the metaverse and these are unique because they actually have something called augmented reality or mixed reality, where you're sort of seeing partially the real room and partially some like cartoons in the middle of your vision. That's the difference between virtual reality, where you're basically the whole thing, your whole room becomes like a cartoon, and mixed reality or augmented reality, which is also called extended reality, XR, AR, right? Augmented reality, MR, mixed reality, and XR includes both AR and MR. So that's basically what's going on. You're in a virtual world, these metaverse. But I mean, most people can't really, unless you have the goggles. A metaphysical thing. Meta comes from metaphysical, I guess. Metaphysical thing. So it's a lot harder to mevatel something. So you need significant amount, 1 to 100. When it comes to disparate things, which are recognizably to everyone, sees the physical world a difference. Lentils are different than beans, so therefore it's a much stronger, more compelling reason to say bittul barov. As long as a majority, that nullifies the smaller part because they're different. So therefore, it's able to mevatel easier. Metaphysical, you need a stronger ratio in order for chashivas, like I mentioned. Is importance is a metaphysical concept. It's a concept. It's not a thing. So therefore, you need 1 in 100 to say this is more chashuv than the isser that's mixed in. Hope you enjoyed today's share. See you in the next one.